1-1. Game number 3. Give it up for MVP. And spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner as our Blue Zerg, representing EG and France. Give it up for Stephano.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of fans, if not hundreds of thousands of fans worldwide right now, are behind Stephano, wanting him to keep the trophy in Europe. He was last year's 2012 Europe WCS champion. He is reigning WCS Europe champion.
Yeah, and what a test for him here in game number 3, and in the finals to go up against MVP, the Game Genie Terran. Stephano's keeping us well updated in between these games. This is intense. Love it. Even if I lost the last game, I'm enjoying the finals. Nice to see.
Nice to see Stephano enjoying some Starcraft 2 once in a while. Build order changes. We have barracks and a gas taken here by MVP, changing it up. Remember, MVP is the best. I really don't know a better player than MVP in a best of 5, best of 7. I remember a stat that was up there, and I don't have it on hand, a while back, that MVP has an incredible win rate when it actually comes to these longer games. So he knows he's good too. He knows he's good.
Oh yeah.
But I think if we were to see Mech in this game, I'm gonna call. Okay, so Mech during the series, I'm gonna broaden my percentage of being right. If we see Mech again by MVP, I think Stephano would go crazy and use swarm hosts, even though he has no experience doing it. I think he'd use it on the fly.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with that. I mean, a lot of people are saying that it's the right response here to Mech. And Stephano, well, going up against what we had there in game number 2, it just didn't work. It just did not work. MVP's mech is too strong for that style for it to work out. Admittedly, again, Akelon wastes, but still, every other map here, MVP, he knows them inside out. So he will play just as solid, just as mindful of his positioning at every turn.
Unfortunately for Stephano, he didn't quite get the factory scout here. So he doesn't know whether the gas was taken or not, but he does know a barracks is down. He knows it's not a Reaper expand. It could be one barracks command center though. So unfortunately for Stephano, he doesn't know that Hellions are going to be present in this game very fast. On the bright side of things, he did start to mine gas quite early, is going to have Zergling speed quite early as well.
Yep, and that factory finishing up now along with that reactor, so those Hellions could be on the way pretty darn soon as Stephano now just transitions a few more drones over down to that natural. And oh, this Overlord, this was great by MVP. He really positioned himself well. He moved out those 2 Marines so early on to try and hunt that down.
A nice snipe by MVP.
Yeah.
Saw where the Overlord was going and chased it. Another tweet coming in here by Chris. WCS. Hello, Chris. WCS Europe final, so epic. And to think there is still America and Korea and season final still to go. Insane.
Yeah.
Thank you for your tweet. Make sure if you want to send your tweet in and potential, you've got a lot of tweets to go up against to be featured on the show. Make sure to hashtag WCS.
Yep. If you want to get yourself featured, very awesome to do so. Ooh, and there we have the armory on the way for MVP. A little bit earlier than normal, so could catch Stephano a little bit off guard.
This is a build I don't think Stephano's had too much experience with. Fast Hellions into a fast Hellbat drop. Or, I mean, the Starport will have to come down shortly. Okay, yeah, okay, Hellbat drop. It has to be Hellbat drop.
Yep.
Stephano may not be ready for this. We'll see. As he does throw down a Roach Warrior no matter what, which is a pretty good setup, and he has 4 to 5 Overlords on the left-hand side here. Remember, on this map, they spawn bottom right and bottom left, with one big line in the middle that can be drawn with Overlords. So unless MVP takes a different approach than going west to east, at the south side, Stephano's going to see this coming.
And this Roach Warren did go down around 20 or 30 seconds a little bit earlier than it did on Akelon Way. So Stephano really accounting for the things that MVP could throw at him despite not getting them perfect of scouts and even getting that creep spread going a little bit more lackluster than it was in the previous games. But he's only got the 3 queens out now as opposed to the 4 queens that we had previously.
All right, well, let's have a look. Stephano builds 3 roaches and goes over to drones and takes another gas. 4 gases in total. And a lair. Not too sure what to make of this. Whether it be for roach speed, and he's going to just try and saturate his bases a little bit and try something along those lines. Whether he's going to go over to 2-base Mutalisk. I'm not too sure. We'll have to find out as the first medevac's gone. A bit of a mistake from Stephano. There is a gap in his overlord line, which he should always create, but luckily for him,
does spot it anyway.
Spots it anyway.
And with that, he should be able to set himself up defensively to deal with it. He's got a few...
But he only has 3 to 4 roaches here and a handful of zerglings. And there's 4 Hellions that still threaten the front door.
So this double-pronged harassment could actually do some damage here to Stephano. Defense is going to be a little bit more difficult than it was previously, but he's already trailing that medevac, so instantaneously as those units would drop, they would get assaulted.
All right, well, as the layer finishes up now, let's see what Stephano's plan is. Is it to upgrade roach speed? Is it to throw down the spire here? Is it to do something crazy like throwing an infestation pit down, which would be the most unlikeliest of tech choices? There's roach speed. Okay, so we could be seeing, depending on if he throws a Bailey Nest down as well. Oh, Nidus Worm!
Oh my god.
Roach speed and Nidus play.
Bottom right-hand corner of his name.
He has an overlord in the bottom right-hand side. Stephano switching things up a little bit here.
Talk about a switch, oh my god.
All right, well, MVP doesn't have a supply depot down there. It's a weakness of his build order at this point. Oh, look at this!
Oh,
MVP throws down the supply depot and Stephano sees it too. So he's going to have to take an approach at the front door here. Unless he morphs an Overseer and tries to come in from a different angle, I don't know how this is going to work.
He's going to try and go up here, I think. There is a gap.
The supply depot, once finished, though, will reveal this area. That's the perfect part about the supply depot, unfortunately. So I think MVP is just... You know, that covers it, just about covers it. So Stephano's going to have to throw it on the low ground, I think. He's going to attempt, but MVP should see this. He sees it. Is he going to react?
Oh, he instantaneously reacts there, bringing all of his army back. There's no way Stephano is going to be able to breach the main base as easily and simply as this. Meanwhile, Hellbats at the front actually here. Catch out a Queen, trying to bring that down and just barely do. Roaches try and push that on back and do, and the Nidus is not successful.
And the problem is, like, MVP's been building Marauders consistently from his barracks with a tech lab. He also has Stim. Stephano tried something which may have worked if he'd overpowered his opponent at the point of the Nidus Worm going down. Now Stephano, without upgrades, with a unit composition which is very weak against Hellbats and Marauders, it's very, very weak. The Hellbats will tank a lot of damage, and the Marauders will deal out damage.
And all of that investment into the quick lair, the quick Nidus Worm, delayed his evolution chambers. His upgrades are not going to be that good here going into the stages of the game where he previously was. Hellbats and Hellions actually just going to engage this army. He picks up some of the Hellbats as well so he can actually save them. Stephano here going on this assault. I don't think it's going to work. That is a very strong composition here of MVP.
Yeah, and Stephano's trying to run home, but every time he does, we were seeing MVP pick up the Hellbats and drop them on the top to deal extra damage here. Stephano's making 10 more roaches, trying to get these units back, turns around, snipes. Is he going to fight here? If he fights, Stim will be activated.
Splits up once again here, trying to get home as quickly as he possibly can do. Melee and Carapace has actually begun here, so he's going to try and hold as best he can in the mid game here with roaches.
Oh, SCVs are joining this behind. SCVs are joining this. Ooh. MVP smells weakness. He feels he could take Stephano down here.
Oh, but the roaches actually get a great engagement here. They kill off a lot of this army before the SCVs even arrive. Still a lot of AoE damage being done here, though, for MVP, trying to kill off what he can. The Marauders at the back of this really, really helping out against Stephano. Army supply 66 to 32.
Stephano just needs to defend. He's got 6 Mutilas coming. There are very, very few Marines, and he's switching over to Zerglings. Remember, MVP pulled SCVs. His SCV count is incredibly low. It's virtually a 2-base all-in. So as long as Stephano defends this, he does have a shot at winning, but does he have the opportunity to defend this? Oh, smart. Stephano cutting up the units at the back there, enjoying the middle, cutting off reinforcements.
Very, very good indeed, just separating off some of those roaches so he can really, really limit exactly how much pressure MVP can actually put on. The Marines are kind of very low in number here. If he can kill off some of those while the Mutalists pop, they have been revealed though, so now MVP knows exactly what's going on. He's going to pressure, he's going to kill off an evolution chamber, trying to put on some more pressure. All the upgrades were cancelled anyway. He has to get out as many units as he possibly can do, but MVP doing a lot of damage here at this natural. I don't think Stephano can hold it.
Yeah, I don't think he can hold it either. MVP with an excellent decision here to kind of counter all in. Stephano's aggressive play. Stephano doesn't have what it takes to defend. He's even losing to the counter, to the reinforcements at this point. 6 roaches, 6 slings in the making. MVP may take a lead for the first time in this best of 7 series. Stephano's trying to gather everything back here in his main base. One final assault may just happen.
Yeah, what fantastic adaptation from MVP. What fantastic reads to be able to push out like this against Stephano when he smells blood in the water. And now MVP really ramping up the aggression, really ramping things up here. Taking potentially a 2-1 lead in this series would be very bad here for Stephano. And he has all the firepower in the world to lay waste to this main base with the Marines and Marauders and Hellbats also rallying across the map. Such a strong army.
Yeah, MVP, GG, takes up map number 3. And